So I'm definitely not a professional, but I'll just show you from Mama Jess's perspective what I'm doing. I can't see a bloody thing, and neither can you. So I am changing the brakes, which are inside here, and this is the rotor, which would also be called the disc of the disc brakes. So the brakes, they kind of clamp around both sides like that of the disc. And so I need to take this off. This is the caliper. There's a mounting bracket, and then I take off the rotor. So I'm going to plug along through that. I learned something cool recently, which is fishing your screwdriver in here, and in between the rotor and the brake you can see the difference. You want to weasel this in, and then you're wanting to open up. There's this kind of pressure that's happened as the brakes wear down. It gets tight around them, so you want to open up this area, otherwise you're not going to get the new brackets in or the new rotor. So I gotta find out where it is. Maybe. Oh look, I think it went. Yeah. And it goes very slowly. So you can see how this is getting looser. And this will probably be able to enter here pretty. Yay, God, it worked. Okay. I think that's all. Okay, so now I have to take off the caliper. I'm going to hang it on a bungee right up here. This is my all-time favorite tool. It's a ratchet. I love ratchets. It's just fun to use. Oftentimes they'll talk about breaking the bolt, but you're not actually breaking it. You're just breaking the seal, like where it was really tightened, and then you want to break it in order to loosen it. I like to keep a little magnetic caddy for nuts and bolts. I got my lug nuts here. Okay. Here we go. Great, there it is. So this is the caliper, okay? Okay, and I just want to hang it up in a way that will keep it from pulling on this hose here. We don't want any pressure on the hoses ever. Okay, that looks pretty good. Done. Okay, now nice. Okay, now I have to break the bolts in the back. It's a bigger one, a 17 millimeter. And if I've used a socket, I like to put it in here as well because I know I'm going to need to use it again. Can you see me okay? Hi. Okay, so there's two bolts back here for the bracket, and it's much harder to do. I was able to get it on the other one, but I might not be able to. I'm gonna try this. This area's in the way, but I want to try again. I know you can also break the bolts like this. Yay, there we go. So a lot of the way I work is I try to understand mechanical advantage because I'm not that strong. But mechanical advantage with leverage and screws and inclined plane, it gives you a lot more power. Like the longer your wrench, the more power there is on that. Okay, so this bracket is almost going to be off, and then I can take the rotor. I have to clean the rotor because when it travels across from China, wherever it's made, on a boat with a lot of salt water, they put a little coating on it. And so you want to clean that with a solvent. And I use mineral spirits, but there's all kinds of different things you could use. And when you're trying to get a bolt out, sometimes it helps to lift up on the thing that is bolted in, because it kind of lightens it, and then you can loosen it more easily that way. There we go. Okay, ta-da. So that is the bracket, and the brakes are inside. Now these brakes aren't that bad, but I could always save those and use them again later. But because I need to change the rotors, I'm gonna do the brakes at the same time. That's kind of common when you go through all this hard work to get into a part of the car. You absolutely want to do as much as you possibly can because it's just too much work. Okay, so this is coming off. It's always interesting to see the wear on it. If it's not that bad, you can actually take them to an automotive place and they can clean them up so that they're not warped. I know mine were starting to get warped because whenever I would brake, it would go bum, 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 bum. Oh, rude. Don't hurt them, Jess. Okay. Holy cow. Okay, so you can't necessarily see like a massive film on this, but I'm just doing what I'm told because my uncle has worked with cars pretty much his whole life. And so he says you want to clean this off because it's like a rust prevention thing when they are traveling across seas. I want to get that off because it's slick and that could affect the braking ability. So just kind of takes off any slick. And this is also a good way to clean your hands. It's not the most healthy, I'm sure. Okay, let's line this up. There you go. Looks good. What I do to keep it relatively stable is I put a little light, like a little bit of a loose lug right there, so it doesn't kind of sweep out toward you too much. I need it to be slightly aligned. Okay, so now we just go backwards. Everything we just did, we do it again. Okay. I don't know if you can see the difference. These are new ones and that's an old one. So it's ground down quite a ways. I mean, there's still a little bit of life in it, but I'm still glad to be doing this right now. They have these extra little clip things, but I'm just going to use the one that are existing because they don't look bad to me. Because otherwise you can put in like these little metal bracket things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do just like this. If there was obvious breakage or something to them, I would put new ones in, but I'm not going to. Okay, there you go. That looks good. Okay. That's great. Put that back on. So you don't want to get grease stuff on the brakes, obviously, like I probably kind of did. Like, don't do that. Like, my hands are kind of greasy, so I have to be careful. Dry, okay. Gotta be over here a little bit. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, so you need to align everything and you need to hand tighten things. So this really isn't about me teaching you how to do this. This is just talking you through some like basic things about nuts and bolts, really. And as you're going along, everything's going to start tightening itself up. But you don't want to go real hog wild. Just kind of go easy on everything. And then some things you really need them to be quite snug. Like these back bolts are definitely need to be very tight. You turn right like that, that's tightening. And when you go left, that's loosening. Okay. Let's just take a look at this up close. Okay, see behind here? I just tightened this bolt and this bolt right here, 17 millimeter. And now I'm going to put the caliper right in this little location, right here and here. Okay. And you can see this is the disc, this is the rotor, and these are the brakes on both sides. Okay. Nice. And I know that these little things have to be situated properly, or else it won't seat. It won't be able to be tightened. These are heavy, man. Wow. That's very, very heavy. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, that might work. Oh yeah, that worked. That's awesome. Okay, I want to show you what I just did. Okay, so this thing, this inside little piston, has to be flush. Like this one's bubbled out and I cannot put it on here. So what I just did is I took these and I'm just gonna squeeze it down. Okay, just like that. And it goes very slowly, so just be patient with it. Okay, I think that'll do. That is so cool. This is an incredible technology. I'm just blown away by what people figure out. Okay, so I got these. I think I can do a ratchet on both of these. Just remember that hot metal and cold metal look the same. And hot metal really burns you good. This needs to be tight, but it doesn't have to be tight as I guess is the one in the back. And I don't really get it, but it's just what I was told. The other thing when you're doing stuff like this, I was told by a professional contractor when I was putting up a chimney system, and I was terrified, like this is gonna burn down. He said, just trust your measurements. Trust if you've done everything to code. So this is kind of the same thing. Like if you can just trust that you've done everything according to like, you put that bolt back there and you put the washer right, and like everything is in order, then you can just trust that you did it right. Because otherwise you're just going to be a wreck. You're going to panic. I think that feels really nice. Now when I have the tire off like this, I like to see if I have any screws, nails, any lacerations. Rocks I don't care for, that's not a problem. But just if there's any trouble. Because this is a good time to have good vantage on it. See? I'm trying to align best I can here. Can you see what I'm doing? Do you see my legs? There. That's how I do it. Sure, there's a lot of ways to do stuff, but that's just what I do. Now, I don't have a torque wrench yet, but I need to get one. I've wanted one for a long time. Ow, hot, 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 hot. But there's a certain poundage you have to put on the lug nuts. Poundage of weight when it's tightened, tight, there's a torque. That's like power to tighten. And if they're not all the same weight, it can cause wobbling and warping. So sometimes when you're going grrr, when you brake, it's not just because the rotors are warped, it's because the lug nuts aren't properly tightened. Okay, so I just do by hand this way. Don't ever put like your fingers or your feet under the tire, even though it's on a jack. Just don't trust any of that. Be thoughtful about how you're sitting. Okay, so I'm going to tighten it just a smidgen with my lug nut thingy here. And I put this blue here so I know which one it is. It's for both of my Tacoma and... Come on, what's up? There we go. And my Sub. Okay. If I tried to tighten these really tight, the wheel is going to spin. But I'm just doing just a smidgen because I want the tire to be on just enough so when it drops down, it's not going to bend those lug studs. That's what I call them, a stud, a lug. Ooh, this is hot. Doggone it. This is thrilling to get done. It feels so good when you do something like this, of this caliper. No pun intended on that one. Okay. So now I'm going to drop it down and then we'll tighten it up to the best of my ability. And then I will go seek out a torque wrench. All right. That's old Mama Jess changing her brakes and rotors. I'll try to get you in on the CV axle if I can. I also think I might do my fuel filter on my new little beater Tacoma truck. That looks hard to access. That's why I don't like automotive stuff too much, because it's like you just want to fix something right there, but you have to go like all the way around there and take out half of the engine to get there, and it's just a lot of work. Okay, so we're in the car now and we need to pump the brakes, okay? So here. First it like goes way down to the floor, but then you clearly see it tightens up. There's a funny noise I don't like hearing, but hopefully that will pass. But it feels nice and tight, so that's good. It's like 100 degrees out right now, and I'm really hot and tired and sweaty. Anyway, I'm really proud of myself. And I want you to go find something that you can do that's out of your league, but you prepare yourself, and you do it, and you get it done. So I'm going to load up my tools, drive around the driveway of the property, and see if the brakes work. Okay, this is very exciting. All right, thank you for your time, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.